Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is episode 74 of my podcast, Brain Dribble, where I'm stupid. This is the show where I'm dumb, and you just get to experience why. This weekend, I went on a date. I had a real good time, but me having a phone from 2016, the iPhone 6. That's right. I still have a button. I still have a home screen. I still have a fucking plug for the headphone jack. I'm listening to music right now on my headphones because that is when I'm most comfortable to speak for some reason. And so having a phone that is that old, on my way home, my phone died. Now that would be fine and dandy if I took the right bus. But I did not. I did not take the right bus, and it stopped short, and I was approximately 7-8 miles from home. So I just started walking down the highway because that's the only route I knew how to get home. And I got about 1.5 miles out before a cop saw me and picked me up and drove me to my car, which... Thank God I'm white, because if I was anything else, I'd probably be shot. Good thing I got picked up because I'm white. And it was like, wow, this is my life right now. Like I'm going to have to walk home. I guess this is my life right now. And it didn't feel real. And I just kind of dealt with it as it came. I was like, well, what am I going to do? Stand here and just wait for nothing? So I just started walking home and it's all right. I don't even know. I don't know what I was thinking because I asked the lady who was driving, the bus driver. I asked if it was going to where I was going, and she said no. And I was like, what? It's not like another bus will come. This has to be the right one. It wasn't. Believe it or not, the bus driver knew where she was going. But I thought, I know all this shit. I talk all this shit. I know exactly. I know where I'm going. And it says on the app, it's going. So I took the bus. Lo and behold, it didn't get there because she said it wouldn't. And the last stop was about, 8 or 10 miles from my house. And I had to start walking because I had no one to pick me up. I had no way to contact anyone to be like, I'm here, come pick me up. And that's why I'm getting a new phone. That's right. If you follow the Tyler lore, it's not lore, it's just my life. I don't get new things. You'll see me wearing the same 5 t-shirts every podcast. I'm sure I've recycled plenty of shirts. And that's just because I get guilt to spend money on anything that is not food. I don't know what, it's just something programmed into me that like, oh, you're allowed to spend money on the thing that will keep you alive and nothing else. Anytime I buy a piece of clothing, it is preceded and followed by a bunch of bad feelings where I'm like, I shouldn't have done that, but I did. And so that's that. So if you look to my right on the video podcast, hopefully you'll be able to see some of it. I am working on a mural that is going to take up my entire room eventually. That's the plan. And I'm going to live stream. I'm going to draw it all first because I just need to prove to myself that I can actually fill all this space. But then I'm going to live stream my me coloring it, and I'm going to make it all nice and dandy. So that'll be coming up soon if you're interested in seeing me live. Technically seeing me, you're not gonna be in my room. I am not selling tickets to enter my room. I am, however, offering a free Twitch link that will teleport you that will transport you to my room, and you can hang out with me and watch me draw slash paint, because I'm not a painter. I'm not. I'm always been a dry medium kind of guy. So I bought paint pens. So I will be using Posca markers to color my walls. But yeah, that's going to be something that's coming up. If you're interested in my content, which it appears you are, because you're listening to this. I'm speaking into your ears, so you care. You must. I don't know. If you don't, then just turn it off. Turn it the fuck off, because it's really, like rubbing it in my face. Like, you just listen and you don't even care. It's like you don't even care about me. Yeah, that's about it for life updates. Art is coming soon. I've been neglecting my passion for about 3 years. Or whatever is supposed to be my passion. I got struck with a little bit of a reality check, because I thought I was going to lose my job for a moment. I won't explain why. It's fine. It's all okay now. But just that idea made me wonder, I can't make money off my art at the moment. So I need to grind until I'm able to, because that's the goal. I just need to grind until I'm able to work for myself, because I don't want to continue working for someone else my entire life. That's the idea. Yeah. I don't understand what it possesses people to order their steak well done, because they don't even know what it tastes like yet. How do they know they did a good job? Well done. Can I get my steak well done? Like, you haven't even put it in your mouth yet. How do you know what they did a good job cooking it? Maybe it's the worst steak you've ever had and it's actually going to kill you. Maybe you're going to get salmonella. Can you get salmonella? Is that only chicken? Maybe you're going to get E. coli from this steak and you're going to die. You thought you could get it well done and get all the shit cooked out. And no, dude, backfired, okay? They have some bad fucking meat, okay? They have so bad of meat that not even cooking it well done will do. You can't, you thought it was just like, could I get a steak and you do a really good job? You do such a good job of cooking it, It's just when it's related to how well you did cooking it. Because you kind of just like, you want to leave some pink in there, get some nice tender loins. What's weird is the word loin, when it's used like in a human context, is a gross word, right? It's like in his loins, it's like poopy, it's like involving shit. It's just something like indigestion, like your digestive tract. Oh, it was deep in his loins. Like, that's a gross word. But when you say tenderloins, I would like some tender loins. Then it's good. Why? Why does that make it good? I think it's still gross. And that's why I'm going vegan. I say as I just ate some chicken. But you know what? That was some fallen chicken. Like, I don't understand. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would somebody order a steak well done? Like, how do you know how it is? Give me a steak and do a good job at cooking it, It's like referring to how much they cooked it. It's like, yeah, all that other shit, you do a bad job of cooking it all the way. So I would like you to do a good job. Well done. Well done. Cook it all the way. That's as far as that joke can go. I think I juiced all the juices out of that one. All the meat juices. I think I squirted all the meat juices out of that one. You ever just get disappointed in yourself? That's me after half of the things that I say. Like, I'll just like, when I'm walking around, there's a lot of content to pull from when you're just walking around, especially the city. That's why it's like really nice to just like walk and talk and just like come up with things to say, because there's always something to look at and pull from. Like, just look at a sign and pronounce it wrong. Like Italian food is just weird, you know? Like blah blah, like che esse cake, like what is that, you know? Are you keeping up with are you following some people? Do you get it? Do you know, are you following me on Twitter? Because if you're not, then you should. It's become a goal. Twitter is like golf to me now. If I can root out the weak ones, then I get my like core base of people who actually get it, then I did my job. You know, if I can just like say something that enough people are weirded out by, if people think, Twitter is where I go to make people think that I'm a bad person. I want people to think that I actually am a bad person on Twitter, because at this point, I've gone up and down. Like I've hit my peak and then just continued to lose followers. It's just like I've lost like over 100 followers in the past like couple of years. It's just like, what? Twitter's so bad. I hate Twitter in terms of like growing. You're not going to grow on Twitter. There's no growing unless you have a viral tweet, and then you have to tweet under it like, but follow the account. And I don't want to be that. So Twitter is just my dumping grounds. Twitter is where I invented the phrase brain dribble, because I used to go on Twitter a lot back in the day. I used to really just think out loud on Twitter, and that was the whole point, was just to be brain dribble. But now I have a whole podcast dedicated to that. So we're just going up, baby. We're going up in the world. And I've successfully talked about nothing for 14 minutes. I have no idea what to say, being honest. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Think back to 2019, before COVID, right? Aren't you kind of doing the same shit as you were then? Like, has nothing changed? I say that, but I look back at my past and I'm like, I've changed quite a bit. I used to make some cringy ass YouTube videos, but now I'm more me. I used to really play it up and just pretend to be a YouTuber, but this is as real as I've ever been on the podcast. This is the me. You get me. You want me? You got it. You got me. You got me. You want me? You got me. I guess you can get me a gift for my birthday. You got me a gift. You got me. Yeah, this is where I'm truly myself, where I can just twist a phrase as you know, like if you just, I don't even care if you keep up. If you're on the wavelength, then you get it. And it doesn't even matter. And I don't even care if you listen at this point, because there's like 3 listeners. It's just whatever, dude. I'm just here. And we're back at it. I have to have some guests on because I got nothing right now. I just wanted to talk about how I had to walk home. Yeah, that was probably the stupidest thing I've ever done. That's top 5 for sure. Stupidest thing I know it's stupidest thing I ever thought. This is the stupidest thought I've ever had. Liquor stores are a terrible idea. You have to drive home. As if you had to drink everything that you bought there. You know? Like, I could have been thinking about a bar, but I wasn't. I was like, what? Who would invent a liquor store that you have to drive there to go get? It's like we're, you know, like, but you get everything from a store, not just liquor, you know. It's the only difference is that you don't drink and drive. But the fact that you have to go drive to go get it, and you have to drive to go back. It's like, are you really gonna wait? I don't want to wait that long. I just want to get started, you know? I just want to get started. Fuck it. I watched Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, which is a movie that was on my list for a while. And let me tell you, that movie makes you feel like a bad person. Like, it's just like a binge. Like, that movie is just a drug binge gone wrong. Just stressful as fuck. Like, you're not even sure, like, if you can rely on the narrator, you know? It's really interesting how they distort reality like that, you know? I don't know what I would rate it though. It's a movie of its own. They really tried to do something, and they made me confused, that's for sure. So I don't know what I would rate it out of 10, but that was an interesting experience. Interesting. I'm glad that I waited till now to watch it, because I think if I watched it when I was younger, I probably would have been like more fucked up by it. I think I would have, like, it makes a lot more sense. Sense? I don't know if that's the word I want to use. It was weird. It's a weird movie. It's a weird fucking movie, man. I don't know. That's all I got for the. I maybe I'll just record this one in 2 sections because I have nothing. I'm gonna make a stand-up special, and I'm gonna call it weird. I'm gonna call it cancel culture, and I'm gonna talk about cancel culture and how I think it's damaging. I like free speech, but you gotta like free speech, you know? These people, they take it too far. It's just one big overcorrection, man. I'll keep beating that drum. That'll be pretty good. I think it would become successful. And maybe if I talk just like about that same shit and just keep on, going with that circle jerk, then maybe I could just like get involved. That's my way into the atmosphere, is to just make a special where I talk about the same shit. And then people will be like, yo, you got some really good thoughts, man. And I'll be like, thank you. You should want to be me. Because I'm a genius. And I'm fucking white. The thing I never understood about cancel culture is that it assumes that white people are better. It's like, well, if you think it, and then so you just put yourself below it, then it's like counterintuitive because it makes you feel worse. Like, I don't know. It's so funny that people are still talking about this shit. Like, this is weird, man. People are just like saying the same things over and over. And like, it's just noise. After a while, it just becomes a lot of noise. It's like, okay, it's always white men. Why is it always white men who are just, I have a podcast, and like I literally have a podcast. This is a podcast right now, but I'm different. I'm not like these people. I follow this sphere and I pretend. And this is my drum that I beat. I just pretend to be one of these people, but I'm not. I'm really not. Because what they are interested in doing is just talking about how we're not allowed to say anything anymore. People don't want you to say that, and it's all fear-based, man. It's all fear-based, and they try to get you on board with it's all about compliance.
It's all about compliance. They just want you to do, they just want you to obey. And if you're not with us, then you gotta You gotta get out, dude. You just gotta get out. If you're not with us, then you have to get out because we don't want you here. We would rather you fucking die because you're a fucking cis white male, you fucking prick, you piece of shit. This was all in one breath.
It's like, shut the fuck up, dude. We've heard it before. It's just noise. If there's another, like, if one more person tries to make, hey, COVID, don't even talk about, dude, the last time I thought about COVID, I've been riding this wave of, like, I didn't give a fuck the whole time. I think I got COVID. I totally did get COVID, and why am I talking about it? Cool. What was my experience like? Oh, I got COVID, and I barely even knew I had it, so I just walked around and probably gave it to a lot of people. I probably killed so many people. But it all turned out fine because no one I know died. Whatever, dude, you know? People just, like, I don't know. They haven't seemed to move on. And that's something that I'm only realizing now as I'm, like, I don't know. Like, I stopped listening to Joe Rogan because he would just say the same bullshit every fucking episode. Like, I used to listen to every episode because I was just interested in broadening my horizons. Just seeing, like, oh, well, here's a scientist. Like, I'm never going to listen to a scientist talk. I'm like, okay. And it's like, it was like a curation of intellectuals so I could listen to. But he would always bring up the fucking... the Comanches, dude. Like, talking about fucking Indians again. Like, it's not that I'm like, it's just because he's reading a book, so he's talking about it, but he says the same shit every time. And I think he invented the phrase compliance and its association. He was like the person to coin it. You know, oh, the liberal agenda is all about compliance. It's just my... It's like, move on. How long can you keep saying the same thing over and over? Do you not even give a shit about, like... I don't know. It seems lazy, boring. It's so tired. Who gives a shit about COVID? It's 2022. If you are still wearing a mask alone in your car in 2022, which I still see people do, you look in your rearview mirror and you see some fucking idiot in his car alone with a mask on. What are you scared of? It's your car. Or is it not your car and you're scared? Even then, it's not on surfaces. This is old shit. Like, I just don't... I don't know. But, like... I'm not gonna, like... Like, there's reminders of it, right? People just want to be careful. And people still, like... You know, masks are still a thing. And it's... But, like... The fact that people, like... Care about what other people do. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. No one has to be any type of way. So come listen to my new comedy special on YouTube. I put it out on YouTube for free because I'm putting out garbage. It's garbage. That's why. Yeah, it's a YouTube special. It's not very special. Like it's material. Yeah, it's you filming, but you try to make it into something it's not. And it kind of ruins the idea of a special. I'm just like sick and tired of these fucking specials people be putting out. Like some of them, they're so bad. They're all so bad. I mean, I shouldn't say all. They're not all bad, but they get way too much praise when it's just like, is it that hard to just put it out yourself? A lot of these things are like, just film it and fucking put it together. It's just like a YouTube, but with more angles. Like it's literally just a YouTube video. I don't know. And they try to make it into art. It's art. Whoa, this is my You're putting out a YouTube video, bruh. It's just completely shitting on what they do. Like it's not even the point that they're writing and performing is the thing that matters. Not so much the fucking shit, but like, I don't know, man. That's a lot of that is not good. Because it's coming out, and I'll just shit on it. Because it's funny. Because what else are you gonna do? You can't be angry. What are you gonna be angry that people are putting out YouTube videos? Like, I don't really give a shit. But like, there's a lot of them that coming out, and I'm not gonna watch them all. I don't know why I feel obligated to, because YouTube feels like showing me them. Maybe my algorithm is like very niche. This is something that I've been noticing happen. This is like another YouTube special. I don't know. It's like devaluing it. Like, okay, we got another one, another one. And this one's 20 minutes. Like, I thought it's supposed to be an hour. I don't know. What is a special? What is a comedy special? Yeah, so I stopped paying attention to that shit. But like sometimes I'll go on Twitter. I go on Twitter to tweet with intent. I don't want to just read. I want to like try to like come up with responses to things. And shit post. That's where I go to shit post. It's a good time. I like Twitter. Twitter's good. I used to use it more than I do now. YouTube specials, I appreciate the hustle. I'm just joking. Of course, I would do the same if I were in their position. But I don't know. Some of them I think people think are really good, and they're not really good. But it's all subjective because not everyone's my sense of humor. I'm sitting over here like thinking I'm a genius. These people don't know what's funny. I'm hilarious, right? As I continue to broadcast to 4 people, and like I think the amount of times that I say that, it's like not putting out good energy. Maybe if I want to go out to more than 4 people, I have to start treating myself like I'm going out to more than 4 people. Don't mention it. Don't even mention it. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. I gave up trying to quit weed. I don't do well when my mind is not occupied. And it doubles up, It's easier to get myself in a creative mood when I'm high. It's just like a ritualistic thing, I guess. I don't know. It alters my senses and makes me enjoy drawing more. Makes ideas flow more freely. Same thing with writing. You can just write about anything. Just keep going. Or talking. Look at me. Look at me go. It's like it keeps me in like a mental comfort zone. Does that make sense? I'm like used to feeling like this around this time of day. So like I should feel like that, otherwise it's kind of just boring. I don't know what to do with myself when I'm bored, and if weed is the solution, I mean, I've been convincing myself that like a long time ago. I was like, there's a lot worse things. I could be an alcoholic, you know. I think I had gotten to a point where if I didn't drink, I would get a headache. At one point, but not anymore. I've dabbled with that, and it has not. I don't know. It turned me off to it. To become a habit. I just can't let that become a habit. But weed. Again, I think I beat myself up over these things. I feel like I need to quit. I have to be sober in order to become. Like, but do you though? You know. If the goal is to be comfortable in your own head, I'm way more entertaining to myself when I'm high. And I guess that's not a bad thing. Because weed is a medicine, right? It's a plant medicine. That's what these things are. Not drugs. Not drugs. It's medicine. It's from the earth, okay? It's natural. It helps me not to feel lonely. Because when I'm sober, I'm just like an asshole. It makes me feel more comfortable to like sit alone with myself and just it takes the form of zonking out, you know, but I also make progress on like art, and I can doodle, you know. I don't have to like, this is verbal doodling. I just think about it too much. I get in my head. And I start feeling like something needs to change. Like I just have this underlying just. Ever since a kid, I felt it as a kid. I just wanted to run away. I wanted to just be like alone in the wilderness. And I think that like that like desire to just change, something that's not right, you know. I'm not satisfied with. I feel like stagnation. Because I look at the past like 2 years or 3 or whatever at this point. I look at I look back at the past 23 years, and I'm just like, what did I even accomplish? And when you ask yourself a question like that, when you're a 23 when you're when you're a 23-year-old in 2022, it's not that you shouldn't feel bad about being nowhere, I guess. I got so much of my life left to live. I'm not doing bad. I just convinced myself that unless like, conventional success, I guess, the fact that I couldn't really afford to live on my own, truly on my own. Like I'm on my own, but I still have, it's not real yet. I'm still a kid. I'm just lucky that I get to still be a kid, because I could hate my life a lot more. That's true. And I guess that's one of those things where you don't realize what you have until you lose it. Because there was a moment this past weekend where I thought I was going to lose my job. But I did not, and it is all okay. But it puts it in it puts it into perspective that things could get harder, and you could have less time to be playing around on the internet. And I guess it's like, I've convinced myself that it's time to make something worthwhile. And if it requires weed to get me in a mood where I want to do something like that, making up reasons why it's okay. Because this is a cycle that I go through. My thoughts are circular in shape. You know, like that was it. Now I'll get back to like, oh, this is just me convincing myself that I'm okay and it helps, but really I need it and it's bad. But no, it's good. It makes me feel good. But could you live without it? And it's like, I don't know. Do I have to? Not really. You know? Everyone's different. There could be a lot worse things and I'm constantly analyzing myself, and it's probably boring as fuck to listen to. But yeah, I've always had it ever since a kid. I've felt the need to I felt the desire to just run away and be on my own, whatever that means, just be completely alone and relaxed. I would dream of like being somewhere where I could be relaxed. And that was like always a dream of mine as a kid, just like I would fantasize about running away. And I think that like translates just to like this feeling of dissatisfaction with the normal, when if you were to just run away, then eventually, like, yeah, it would be fun for a little while, but eventually that would become normal and you'd be dissatisfied still. And that's the trap that a lot of people fall into. It's like you think this is it, but once you find out it isn't, then you'll just be sad again. You return to your baseline, homeostasis. And that's how I convince myself to stay on the bottom. In the shadows. Underground. Underground podcasting. I listened to the comedian who never does stand-up, and when he did, it was horrible. I have stage fright. I have them all recorded, but I'm scared that that's like the one thing that I just kind of want to burn. I want to burn that, but I haven't yet because it's kind of funny. It's not funny. I'm not funny. But the sounds, the audio is pretty funny. It's hard to listen to. I think I'm better at stream of consciousness. And that's what my art is all about. I'm sick of like planning, you know? I just want to do whatever happens. I want to say whatever is supposed to be said. Like you don't get to choose your thoughts. I'm just gonna put them all out. I leak for a little while. And I have different outlets to do that. And as long as I have a constant input, it's just something I'm saying. As long as I'm saying something, I guess I'm happy. I guess I'm happy. What an interesting sentence. Freudian slip. Because my mind has the ability to block itself out. And by that I mean, there's a phrase that I came up with that is just so potent to me in my life. And just the way that I think and the way that it all comes crashing down sometimes. The way kind of the walls of your life just fall apart and you're like, wait, what is anything? And then you just go back into existential crisis mode. And that phrase is, I'm always fine until I think I am. Like, you're doing fine, you're doing fine. And then once you're like, I think I'm doing good, that's when it all falls apart. I think I'm doing all right. I think things are finally looking up. You're gonna go deeper. It's only begun. And yeah, that's just a terrifying thought that whenever I feel like I'm doing good, that my brain has told me that you are in fact not doing good. And this just phrase, it's not like I can like, I just dwell on it and I accept it. I accept it as true because it's just so haunting, you know? But maybe I just need to denounce that thought. Like, no, like there are things that you do. Dude, I think I'm an addict. I think I have like addiction, like properties to my personality and shit. Like, I just gotta be some way. Once I realized I could like turn the knobs a little bit, I just always want to just do that. I just want to do that, you know? And I think, like, I hate to bring it back up again, but I'm talking about RuneScape. I think it all goes back to that. That was the first real addiction that I can confidently say I have, was video games. You know, like, I wouldn't say, like, it was really RuneScape. No, I didn't have a problem with any other game because it didn't feel like wasting my life. But to have all that game time played on one game, it was undeniably an addiction that ran throughout my entire childhood and early developing stage. So I feel like once I got rid of that, I immediately just replaced it with something else. I'm just like, wow, now I'm so fucking bored. So I'm just going to start feeling this way. I'm gonna start taking this to make me feel like this. Just to stimulate my fucking broken dopamine receptors. Like, oh, as long as I'm getting some XP reward type thing, at least I'm fucking distracted from it all. And there's better ways to do that, but I think it was just timing. I don't know. Haven't been in a good place technically by most people's standards in a while. By most people's standards, I haven't been in a good place for a while, but I feel like this is just the artists just suffer, and that's just the way it is. It's the same type of personality that is so toxic and addictive and just artful. But I just like to pretend, dude. I feel like I don't even make art. I'm just in delusion of what I'm actually doing. Like, I'm just like, it's so wild for me to think that people know that I have a podcast when like it just crosses over. Because I genuinely forget anybody listens to this or just like hears any of this or knows that I do any of this. And I just live my life like that. And I'm not really like, this is cyclical too, because I know that I won't be happy working for someone else. I have to do it because I'm enjoying it. Once you involve money, this is the thing that I always wanted, was just to do something like by any metric. Anytime I ever said that I don't want to work for someone doing what I love, because it will ruin doing what I love. I just want to do something to put food on the table, and then it'll be my side hustle. There's just one day, one day hopefully this will work out. And I guess that's what a lot of people do. They set aside their dreams for a realistic approach, and it forces you to not have as much energy. Because I'm not a morning person, I refuse to get up in the morning. I can do what I like. I'm getting better at doing what I'm enjoying doing and only sticking to those things. I do feel like I'm getting better in that regard. Because if it's not this, then I'm drawing on my wall. Because I don't feel like standing anymore, I'm doing very physical art. And I feel like I'm going to be talking about this project for a long time. And it's going to be a complete secret until... I don't know, I've probably said it before. It's not a secret. I never keep anything a secret. I can't keep my fucking mouth shut. I have no impulse control. Once I think something, I'm like, I want to do this, and I don't even come close to doing it. Ever, never. I never do it. But this will be the first time I actually fucking do it. I swear to God. Because I'm just gonna, instead of using the sketchbook, I'm just gonna sketch my wall. And I want to cover the entire fucking thing. And that is the plan. And I will live stream it. I want to sketch it all first. And I'm getting in the habit of getting myself to sketch. And then once it's all ready, I'll color it in on live stream. And I'll film a time lapse. And it'll be fucking awesome. And then I will have a very colorful room. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I beat myself up for a lot of things. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I feel like I need to quit. I need to be sober. I need to just never enjoy anything. I have to prove to myself that I have, what am I trying to prove and to who? I'm constantly in my head, and it shows. Yeah, I don't know what that feeling was of it as a kid, just wanting to run away. As if I felt some inherent anxiety to being wherever I am. Like as if this was there's some goal in mind that I need to work towards to get to. But you're never gonna get there because anywhere you're gonna be, that's where you are. And it won't feel as special when you get there because it'll be less... I've never had anything life-changing happen to me, but it's usually pretty unsurprising when you go somewhere or do something. Life is pretty predictable. There's some order into the regular societal things, but there's nothing you can fill it with. That feeling of just wanting to run away and just to be somewhere else. This isn't it. As if this isn't it right here, right now. I think anything that makes you feel present in that way is the thing to do. And you know what? I'm gonna be real with y'all. Weed puts you in a fucking hole. Tunnel vision. You smoke weed and then you do something like podcast or draw or something creative where you gotta use your brain just enough to make sense and just do something. It's a beautiful thing because I wouldn't have the patience to sit with myself to record for 36 minutes. Weed makes me feel like I matter to myself. Like I'm doing some real discovery on this podcast. And again, it's always working to get somewhere. You know, you're always trying to work to get better, to be better. This is basically a self-help podcast, dude. It's just whatever. It's talk therapy. It's boring. I get vulnerable. I get real vulnerable. And maybe I'll put this out unedited. You know, here's a real look into my evening, into my Wednesday night. Stupid. Yeah, man, I don't know. Life is weird. I think that's all about a ball I got in the tank for this evening. If you enjoyed, feel free to share it with someone thinking also to enjoy it, because that's love. And rate it on review, 5-star. If you haven't yet, do it, because I'm gonna suck your toes if you do it. Not gonna lie. If you rate my podcast 5 stars, I'll suck your toe. That's not true. Don't sue me for not doing it. But please do it. Maybe, you know, you'll be entered into a raffle. I'll enter your name into a raffle. If you leave a review, 5-star review, I'll enter your name into a raffle. And whoever wins the raffle, I'm gonna suck your toes. All of them. All of them. I'm not gonna leave a single, no man left behind. I'm gonna suck all those little piggies. All those piggies go to market. Market's really wet. It's inside my mouth. I want your, if those I'll put those piggies in the market. They're gonna, this little piggy, where did the other piggies go? This piggy went to market. This one went to what, downtown? To Dave and Buster's. This one went to Denny's. This little piggy went to Denny's. You know? No man left behind. I'm gonna suck your toes, whether you like it or not. This is no longer, you're not, if you're already entered in, if you're hearing this, you're in raffle. And if you're hearing this, I'm gonna suck your toes. I got your IP, got it right here. See it in my hand? I got your IP, I know where you live. I'm gonna come to your house, break in. I'm gonna go upstairs, wherever your fucking room is. You don't have an upstairs, you have a downstairs? You live in the cellar. Oh, jeez. Dirty toes. Walking around all muddy, right? Because you got a dirty fucking floor. You're the trash man. You're fucking homeless, basically. You barely afford to fucking shower. You do it every week if you can. So you got real nice dirty toes. Give me fucking put those dirty toes right up in my kisser. And I'll fucking polish them. I'll spit shine them. I'll drink up all the dirt, spit it into a cup, and then I'll fucking pour that cup all over your fucking, I don't know. What am I gonna fucking pour the cup of toe dirt on? Toe spit dirt. I'm gonna take the cup, I'm gonna take it out back, I'm gonna pour it outside in nature because it's dirt. It's where it belongs.